What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You guys, this is season number 16. This is episode number 11. This episode is titled Let's Be Honest. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? All right, you guys. So feel free to let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Overall, it was a decent episode. It was an okay episode. But yeah, just tell me what you guys think about it, and then we'll definitely get into it. So I guess I can start with the person who didn't have the most in this episode, and that was actually Kelly. Because we didn't see Britt. We saw Britt in a throwaway scene. So let's talk about Kelly. With Kelly, the only thing we got with Kelly was we saw Kelly with her daughter, and she was teaching her daughter how to drive, and that's literally all we got with Kelly. Now, Kelly is, you guys know that Kelly, well, speaking of Kelly, Kelly was on Watch What Happens Live last night, right? With Ashley Darby. Kelly, can I say something to you? I get you love your body, and it's and this ain't body shaming you or nothing like that. But girl, every time I see you, your areola is out because on Watch What Happens Live, that dress, your boobs were out. I really want Kelly to dress for her titties. I just want Kelly to wear the proper top. Make sure that her top fits her boobs because they don't ever fit her boobs. Because you always see her areola, or just you see her like you see something. But neither here nor there. So Kelly is talking. Remember, Kelly wants to open up the Nana's Chicken and Waffle that she has in Sandy Springs, right? So she's just telling Chloe, her daughter, what kind of responsibilities she would have at the restaurant. And honestly, that was pretty much all we got with Kelly. It wasn't much to discuss with Kelly in this episode. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Kelly, but it wasn't much to discuss with you in this week's episode. If I missed anything with Kelly, y'all definitely feel free to drop down and tell me if I missed anything. But I don't feel like I did. Because like I said, it really wasn't nothing to talk about with Kelly. They could have kept her scene much like because again, they didn't give us nothing with Britt. But yeah, that's it with Kelly. Who is the next person that we can move on to? Because we're going to save Shamia and Portia for last. I guess we can talk about Drew. So with Drew, y'all, I'm going to be super duper honest with you. When it comes to Drew and his stuff with Ralph, do I think Wreck-It Ralph is an asshole? Absolutely, right? But at the same time, Drew, you do lie, and there do be some things that I look at you like and be like, are we telling the truth, Drew? Because I like Drew, but there just be times where I look at Drew and he be like, I don't think I'm getting everything from you. Now I did see that Drew and Ralph, they had a little. He said something on Twitter about her mama in response to what her mom was saying about him on the show, and she commented, let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I can't find it. But if I can, then we can find it. But yeah, Drew. Again, y'all, I do like Drew. She can be annoying at times. So we see Drew. So Drew is leaving the court, leaving a meeting with her attorney, right? So let Drew tell it. Ralph and his attorney are trying to get Drew's attorney recused from the case. Now, I don't see it for Ralph like that, but what I will say is, if he's trying to get your lawyer recused, maybe they feel like your lawyer did something unethical, something along those lines. But then Drew goes on further and tells us that, Ralph wants part of her Drew Sidora LLC. Then she said she created another LLC, and I was like, "Well, when did you create this LLC, Drew? Like, was this before y'all started the process of divorce or after? Because if it's after y'all started the process of a divorce, then I can see why they want your attorney recused, because you're doing something shady after you file for divorce from the man. So, I mean, like I said, when it comes to Drew, I just don't know what's what with Drew, because I feel like Drew leaves shit out intentionally to try to make herself look like the good guy and make Ralph look like the villain that he is. And mind you, I said look like the villain that he is because Ralph is a piece of shit. But I just kind of I be looking at Drew like, I don't know, Drew. I really don't know. Like, it's something ain't right with Drew. So Drew's on the phone with her mama. So later in the episode, we see as Drew's mom got to Atlanta to be with Drew. They're talking about Drew and Ralph. I'm with the mama. I want those two just to go ahead and divorce at this point because it's getting on my fucking nerves. It's literally getting on my nerves. And that's the nicest thing that I can say. But like I said, I do know that they went back and forth last night on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can go find Drew's tweet. Because I really, Drew Sidora. Let's see if we can find it, you guys. Yep, here we go. Oh, Ralph deleted the tweet. He deleted it, but it's still on Drew. It's still on Drew's timeline. So Ralph tweeted, "Mama gotta watch her mouth. Don't you remember I saved you after you spent all your husband's money and had nothing? I was your angel then. Things change fast, doesn't it?" So then Drew came back and said, "Disrespect my mother, especially on a public platform, is completely unacceptable. She's simply speaking from a mother's perspective based on what she's witnessed. Please stop the unnecessary negativity and show some basic respect." When I tell y'all I'm sick of both these two, I'm sick of them. So then Drew's mom was talking about her kids, right? And she's talking about how she sees a difference in the kids. She feels like it's stupid that Ralph and Drew are living in the house together. I'll agree with you there. And so Drew's mom feels that with them living in the house together, it's causing the kids to have disciplinary issues. So I was like, okay, I can see that. Also, Drew let us know that Ralph changed the locks on the door, and so she couldn't get in. And the only way she was able to get in is because he let her in. Again, I am sick of Ralph and I'm sick of Drew. They're both tip tapping on that nerve. Tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, tip tap on my nerves. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and move on over to Angela. Now, when it comes down to Angela, you guys, y'all know I do like Angela, but for me with Angela, I just find Angela to be a little bit confusing because I never know what's what with Angela. Because whenever, especially when she talks about her family, the stories don't all what she says about her family, it don't always add up to me because it feels like Angela leaves things out. I don't know if that's purposely on purpose or if it's just she talks so fast and she doesn't like it be things that I just be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So we see as Angela and Charles, they went out on a date with each other, right? And I see a lot of people saying that they don't like Charles. They don't feel like Charles likes Angela. I disagree. I don't agree with that, you guys. I think when it comes to Charles, I think Charles is just somebody who is set in his ways. He says what he means and means what he says. And he's also a little nonchalant. So I don't really necessarily have a problem with Charles, but some people feel a way about Charles. I don't. So then Angela's talking about she needs to talk to her mom about what happened. You know, Actually, she needs to talk to her sister about what happened with her daughter. Now, you guys remember earlier in the season when Amari sat down with Angela, she was talking about how she went over to the house to use the car, and her and her aunt got into it. That still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that has not been explained what happened, because there are so many things that could be like, it's once we have one side of the story. That's Amari's side of it. We don't know what the sister says. We probably won't know what the sister says because the sister did not sign off a release to be mentioned on camera or for her likeness to be used on camera. So Charles feels like Angela should draw a line with her family. Honestly, I don't disagree with him, right? Sometimes you do have to draw those with, even with family. Sometimes you do have to draw those lines with them and let them know you mean business. So I'm okay with what Charles said, right? So then later in the episode, we see as Angela's mama came over to the house. And before I even get into that, I do want to say, send my condolences to Angela, because last night during the episode, it was revealed that her mom had passed away. So rest in peace to her mother. I can't even begin to imagine what that felt like, to watch this episode and see her mother alive and well, and now knowing that her mother is now currently deceased. So my prayers up to you, Angela. I definitely know what that pain feels like to lose your mother. So my condolences to you. So then we get into the fact that Angela bought her mom a house. It was over $400,000, right? But the mom has now since moved out of the house because the mom, I feel like I think she even said she wanted to just be, you know, dependent upon herself, right? And not so much so on Angela. And so then Angela is talking to her mama about how she feels that when it comes to she and her sister, that her mom doesn't defend her. And I was like, you want to go a little bit deeper? What does she not defend you against? Like, because we don't know anything. So then her mom was like, but I did defend you. I defended you with Charles. So I guess Charles had an issue with Angela not cleaning at one point, or cleaning something. So the mama said something to him because she didn't like the way that he was talking to Angela. Again, like I say, when it comes to Angela, it'd be a ball of confusion with me. It'd just be a ball of confusion. I like Angela, but I just don't always understand her story, like her stories that she be telling. Because it'd be like, girl, I feel like you leaving something out of this equation. I really feel like you leaving something out of the equation, Angela. But again, I do like you. I think you're a good fit for the show. But if you come back for season 17, girl, we're gonna have to work on some things. We're gonna have to work on some things, Angela. But yeah, you guys, I think that's pretty much all we got with Angela. And so now we can move on to Shamia and Portia. So I guess I'll start with Shamia first, and then we'll talk about Portia. Now, the first thing that I want to say is, so over the weekend, Portia saw the episode. So the Housewives get the episode um, ahead of when we see it, right? So Portia was watching the episode. I don't know if it was Friday or if it was Saturday, but whatever day she was watching it, she wasn't happy with what she saw in this scene with Shamia and what Shamia said about her mama, because she posted something in her Instagram stories, but she quickly deleted it, and so but she didn't delete it fast enough because people took a screenshot of it, right? And I'm paraphrasing, but basically she was telling Shamia, like, you talking about my mama, don't go there. That's the wrong road to go down and all that kind of stuff. But again, Shamia didn't say anything negative about your mama. She didn't say nothing negative about your mother. So I didn't understand why Portia felt the need to say what she said. So here's what Portia said. I'm gonna just say this. I'm watching, she meant to say, I'm watching a new episode, Shamia Morton. Now, don't take it there. Don't imply shit in all caps about Diane Williams. I've been keeping it cute or quiet, and you can say or you can do and say what you want. She meant to say about me, but hear me when I say wrong road. Talking about talking about well, talking about your mom thought my mom was a friend, knowing goddamn well what she did to my mom was highly egregious. Do don't do it. Keep playing victim, and that BS. Don't f with my mom. Again, Portia, I don't really know what Shamia said about you. She didn't say nothing about your mama. So I'm thoroughly confused as to why you made that post. But hey, she took it down. I don't know if she and Shamia talked or whatever, but she was pissed. Now, Shamia didn't say nothing negative about your mama from what I saw in this scene. She ain't really say nothing bad about your mama. She just said that you and her have been friends since you guys were kids. We know that. She also mentioned the fact that Diane and her mama were friends. They're no longer friends. Producers asked why they're no longer friends. Shamia didn't speak on it. So I don't really know what she said, but okay. But Portia felt the way about it. And that's her right to feel how she want to feel, right? So Cynthia and Shamia are talking, right? Here's my thing with Shamia. Y'all know I like Shamia, right? But the problem, like I have the problem with Shamia is, oh God, I like Shamia. I really truly do. I really really like Shamia, but I do think that Shamia is victim playing a victim in a way. I really do because hear me loud, and this is not me defending Portia. I'm just speaking in general. If you are friends with somebody and you feel like your friend has done you wrong, you should be able to go to your friend and tell your friend how you feel. If you feel fearful of going to your friend and your friend blowing up on you, fighting you, doing whatever Shamia allegedly fears, according to Angela, then you shouldn't want to be friends with that person. You should end the friendship. But also with Shamia, I feel like Shamia is one of those kind of friends where it's like, oh, I'm a good friend to you, and I do this stuff for you. But then when you do things to me, I don't call you out on it. And when you ask me questions about it, I say, oh, like I don't like the type of friend that'll be like, oh, we're good, knowing we're not good in your mind. You have an issue. If you have an issue, address it. And that's my problem with Shamia. Shamia will tell you, oh, we're good, but she'll hold on to and harbor these negative feelings instead of releasing them and telling what she really feels. So that's my grievance and gripe with Shamia. And because Shamia is saying that what the girls took back to Portia wasn't necessarily what she said. Because Shamia is trying to say that the girls basically were saying that what Shamia is saying is they took it back to Portia and it really wasn't the way that she said it. And she's trying to say that the girls were basically talking about things that has gone on with her and Portia, and that's where this issue comes in. I was like, Shamia, I beg to differ. Like, I truly beg to differ. I truly beg to differ, Shamia. I feel like you probably got a little drunk and you said something to them, and it is what it is. If you feel a way about your friend, be comfortable enough to say to your friend, like, friend, I don't like the way you do. I don't like the way you doing this. I don't like the way this is going. Da 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 da. Like that's my issue and grievance with Shamia. So then, Cynthia's talking about her relationship with Nene. Do not care because you and Nene were up and down, and Nene flat out disrespected you quite a few times, but you still were friends with her. So that is that with Shamia. Did I hit everything with Shamia? I think I did. I think I did. So now let's move on to Portia, you guys. All right, you guys. Well, Portia, I ain't gonna be on Portia too long. So we see Portia as she went bowling with Angela and Cynthia, right? Portia, girl, I don't feel bad for you about. Here's the thing. I do hate that your child, you know, developed a connection with Simon, but that is because of you. You should have never introduced Pilar to him. You should have never married the man, and not as soon as you did, right? I feel like you married him only as quick as you did so that people could stop talking about the way you got with him. That's my personal opinion, right? So she's talking about how the divorce is affecting PJ and also how her going back to work is affecting PJ. I was like, you didn't think that? But maybe she didn't realize it. And I'm gonna let Portia have that one. I'm gonna let her have that little bit of point. But the fact that you said that when PJ was talking about Simon, you text him and he left you on red, ma'am. What the fuck did you expect that man to do? Did you really expect for him to respond to you? Y'all are going through a divorce. Like, if you expected that man to, honestly, Portia, I don't know what you expected from Simon, but whatever you expected from Simon, you shouldn't have expected it from him, right? You really shouldn't have expected it. So then we start talking about Shamia once again. I'm like, honestly, I'm really sick of this whole talking about Shamia at this point. Like I said, honestly, coming into this season, I was ready to defend Shamia against Portia, but honestly, I don't think I can defend. I don't think that I can just because I was ready to just go in and let have on Portia, but I don't feel like I can do that because I can't. Like I said, I got a proverbial side eye for Shamia. Now, is Portia a good friend to Shamia? From what we see, no, she's not. But like I said last week, it kind of when I look at Shamia, it now kind of makes me think like, were you like you being a good friend to her? Is that a way to be like, oh, you see how good I am to Portia, but then she doesn't reciprocate that towards me. Like my thumbnail says, I see through both of them. I see through both Portia and Shamia at this point, right? So Portia's talking about she doesn't have the capacity or the bandwidth with this divorce to be a good friend. I was like, is that what we blame it on at this point? Is the divorce? Okay, Portia, if that's what you want to blame it on a divorce. Cool. So then we see Shamia and Portia as they met up with each other, right? Now, Portia, girl, why in the hell did you park in that handicap parking space? I caught that she parked in the handicap spot, right? So they sit down. When they sat down with each other, it was a little bit tense between the both of them. So what I will say is, Portia, you yawning and you messing with them knives was intentional. Because Shamia even asked, am I boring you? So Shamia says that there have been some things that have hurt her in the friendship, right? And I'm like, okay, if there are things that have hurt you in a friendship, Shamia, why did you wait until you guys got on this show? And why are you waiting until this point now to bring up these issues? If this is your quote unquote real friend and you don't want to lose this friendship, seems like to me you would have brought this up a long time ago. That's just my personal opinion. Because anytime I've had issues with my friends, we talk about it immediately. I don't let things sit and fester. That ain't something that I do. Now I do have friends who'll be like, I don't want to talk right now, but we will eventually talk. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. We'll eventually talk. But we ain't finna wait no 2 and 3 years to talk about some shit that happened years ago. Like that's why, like I said, I got a little bit of a side eye for Shamia. So then Portia's talking about Shamia, stop. Shamia, stop. I'm uncomfortable. And so she got up and walked away from the table and cried. I was like, okay, Portia, you you're doing this to deflect from Shamia. So Shamia then tells Portia she doesn't like how dismissive she is of her. And I was like, That's a good point. Like, you should have been said this to your, like, you should have been said this, Shamia. You should have been said this. So then, Shamia says that she felt the way about what Portia said that Diane said about the apple not falling far from the tree. I would feel a way about that as well. And Portia said, "Well, I didn't say it. It came out you're telling her what your mother said, and you put some distance between you and her. So you felt it, Portia. So stop playing." So then Shamia says that she wants the Portia that she gets off screen, and Portia said, "Well, if you want that, they're gonna have to pay me more money." Okay, that's weird to tell your friend that they got to pay you more money. Like, but here's the thing: I will ask you this question, Shamia: what Portia do you get off screen? Like, that's the $1,000,000 question. What Portia do you get off screen that you don't get on the show? But whatever, right? They made a pact to work things. They made amends with each other, but again, it's short lived because Shamia was on Watch What Happens Live last week, saying that basically saying that the ball is in Portia's court. But then once Portia wished her happy birthday, she was so happy. And then, like I said, um, Portia made that post about her. So it's gonna be interesting because you guys, Andy just asked for questions for the reunion, so that because they're getting ready for the reunion. I think I heard that they're filming the reunion on June the 3rd or something like that. But yeah, you guys, that's really all we got for this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was a okay episode. Now I am so not looking forward to next week's episode because Phaedra Parks makes her return next week, and I am so when I tell you I'm so not looking forward to seeing Phaedra return on my screen. I don't want to see that lady on my screen, but unfortunately we got to see it. She's talking about y'all were looking for me. We were not looking for you, Phaedra. Not a soul was looking for your lying raggedy ass. But hey, you're back. But that's it, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.